Vanessa, you're responsible for coming up with what is termed the pet nup. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, there was a gap in the law, basically, because the law doesn't recognise animals or pets like they do children. They regard them as chattels, so it's the same status as a fridge freezer. So people were coming all the time to us and involved in their split-ups. Well, who was going to keep the pet, who was going to pay for the pet, etc. And the court can only deal with things in monetary terms. So, unlike America, where they can sort of, like you were doing before, inviting the dog to come in and decide, they were cheating a bit. They would rub their hands with dog meat sometimes before they went into...
Who would do that? Put a sausage in their shoe or something?
And I'll have a doggy biscuit, and the dog would come to whoever had that, and so it wasn't a true reflection. But here, we didn't really recognise it, or the concepts of custody or anything. Courts can only do...
And Paul and Julia, did you recognise it? Would you not take the chance that the dog liked one of you more than the other?
You're gripping onto it very tightly there, can I say, Paul?
I think he's definitely Huby. He's got my name. Nutella Huby is his Instagram hashtag, so he's mine there.
Let's not start more hostilities. We're just here to talk.
Can I say, the fact you've got him was actually because it was a gift.
Yeah.
It was a gift.
Yes, it was. It was about a year ago. It was Julie's birthday, and I treated her to a pug puppy, Nutella Huby, who's with us today.
He's very keen to add his surname on there, isn't he, Huby? So you believe then Nutella's a gift, therefore he's yours?
Yeah, in my eyes.
Yes. So how long were you together, and when did you split?
About 2 years ago. Well, we were together about 2 years, and then I was like, it was my birthday last year when he bought me the present. We split up a couple of months ago.
So only a couple of months ago. So this is a bit raw. And so how have you managed it so far? You know, was there a big argument about it? Did you try and whisk the dog away?
At the time, we were all living together in the same house, and it was fine. And then when we split up, Julia moved out back to her parents' house, and the dog was like, well, where am I going now? So we both obviously wanted him. Look at his face. We both fell in love with him. We didn't want to, be without him. The thought of not seeing him was really, bad for us both. But it got a little bit heated, a little bit, a few Facebook statuses got thrown around.
I mean, the thing is, you bought Nutella for Julia, but then you say you're at home and work from home and you look after him.
Yeah, I mean, I bought Nutella for us to live as a family. It was a birthday present, but it was, ultimately for us all to live as a family.
Yeah, Vanessa's raising her eyebrows.
Factual things coming out from both of them here.
Yeah, I mean, I do work from home, so I spent a lot of time raising him as a puppy, training him, up in the morning, feeding him.
It's like me.
Walking him.
But in the eyes of the law, that counts for nothing, obviously. The same status as a fridge, as Vanessa.
Yeah, I heard that, yeah.
When did you two then sort of bang your heads together and realise there had to be a compromise on this? How did you do that?
He loves the dog, and as much as I'm never going to be that person to keep him away from him, I mean, I think it'd be cruel on Nutella, and Paul.
When you just buy a second dog?
Oh, no. No, you spend so long with a dog, you get used to seeing his face. You can't just sort of replace him.
How are you managing it now? How do you share him?
We've finally come to sort of an arrangement over the last couple of months. I'd say it's been quite heated, but over the last couple of weeks, it's been more... sort of, yes, we both agree that it'd be nice for the dog to spend some time with Julia and some time with me. So now we sort of split the week up, Wednesday to Wednesday. Julia will have him one week, and I'll have him the other week.
Well, there was a time, Vanessa, when this wasn't taken into account at all. The Dogs Trust tell us that 30% of dog owners were thinking of taking out prenups for their pooch to formalise things.
Absolutely.
Over a quarter of dog owners said their four-legged friend would be the most important thing for them to claim custody of. The most important thing.
Yeah.
Should they split?
Well, the Dogs Trust and also Blue Cross, with whom I did the pet nup in the first place, they say don't naturally assume that just dividing up the time equally is the right thing for every pet. Take advice about what is best for the pet, because, sometimes they get disturbed. Now, this doggy has been so well behaved the whole morning. It's been unbelievable. It's absolutely gorgeous. And so, obviously, this is working between this couple. But you have to take take advice, because sometimes making it half the week with one person
Yeah.
and half the week with the other may really upset and disturb the pet to such an extent that it could develop problems.
And what about financial things like pet insurance, vets bills?
Yes. Well, this
How
is
do you deal with
something
that?
that the court can sometimes deal with on a split up. They can deal with financial things, but what I did in doing all my research and drawing up this pet nut is to have every possible contingency of expense. So, for example, the vet bills. What's going to happen if they both go on holiday to different places? Who's going to look after the dog? What happens, God forbid, if the dog passes away? What will happen? You know, are they going to be cremated or buried? All these
Well,
issues.
all those details and the form that you need to download if you are going through this, and presumably this doesn't just apply to dogs?
It applies to every pet.
Right, OK.
Every single kind
If
of
you
pet.
go to our website, itv.com/this morning, you can download a form, details on the website about all of that.
Yeah, and,
so there we go.
Oh, well, he looks very happy. I'm glad you've managed to sort it
Yeah,
out.
we went up running this
You're
morning to
lucky.
get rid of some of his energy, didn't we? So we were up at 5 o'clock this
Well, I
morning
hope you
running.
can-
So he's quite well behaved
Yeah,
today.
he's lovely. I hope you continue to be as amicable as this.
Yeah, we are
and
quite lucky.
with
We've
his-
got quite a good
yes.
support network with parents who will look after him when we're
Well,